Welcome everyone to Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. My name is Coach Lacy. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe and like button and share with your friends. Happy 2026. It has been a hot minute since I have been on this show. And that is just an example of how humans operate. And if I can fall off the wagon and not do what I set out to do, chances are you might too, because I'm pretty damn determined, and I know a lot of you out there are pretty damn determined. And in 2026, my theme, my word, if you will, is ascension. And that means I'm ascending to my highest self. I am turning 40. Where my 86 baby's at, we're turning 40 this year, which is a number that I never thought that I would even ever get to. Ever. Like, and when I think about it, it almost makes me sick. Like, I do not, like, I can't even believe I do not feel like I am even out of my 20s. And to think about being 40, and I haven't even had my own bio kids. I have a stepdaughter, but I haven't had my own biological children as of yet. And I still feel fairly young, right? But yet there's part of me that feels so timeless and almost like an old woman. So I made a vow to myself for this year to show up harder, to show up more bright, then show up brighter and harder and show up the best that I possibly could for my business and my family and my future self. And that takes practice and it's difficult. But I'm not here for a soft life. I've been living the soft girl life for about like 6 months to a year. I have just I took a bit of a sabbatical, if you will, and just dove into my work and built my business and enjoyed not having to go to the 9 to 5 because for so long in my life, I went to the 9 to 5. I'd have to get up, 6 in the morning and be to work, by 8:45, and I'd be there till about 5:30. And that was my life from like 21 to like 38. And a couple years ago, I said, fuck this. And I took my life into my own hands and I became the star of my own show. And I decided to do my own thing. And it was hard. It was difficult in the beginning. And it was really quite a shift to go from having a schedule to have to be self-led and make sure that I'm making the deadlines. And as some of you know, I have been on this sobriety train, and I'm not gonna lie, I've struggled. And there's been a few times I screwed up. I screwed up. I screwed up. I had 6 months, 6 months of sobriety. And on New Year's Eve, I smoked some pot and I beat myself up for it pretty bad. And it caused me to withdraw and really I just felt really bad. And the whole reason I had quit smoking was so that I could be more present in my business and so that I could feel what it was like because I had been smoking like every day, morning, noon, and night. Like as I got older was the vape pen, but um I'd been addicted to something since I was like 16, 15. And I used to be a meth addict back when I was 15 to like 21. And then that switched into pot, party, drugs, and alcohol. And I wanted to feel what it was like to be a human that wasn't high. And I love it. I love it. I love being present. I love being conscious. I love having goals and setting them. And somehow I was able to get through my life while I was high at a high functioning level. Literally. But it wasn't functioning enough so that I could meet my dreams all the way because I would withdraw. And now that I'm sober and I've fallen off, I fall off the wagon now once, but I um I anticipate in the future I'll fall off again, but I'm not going to make it a lifestyle. Before it was a lifestyle, Lacy was a stoner. Before it was a lifestyle, I was a partier. Now it's just kind of an accessory. My lifestyle is trying to live a sober life. But sometimes we don't, sometimes we don't show up in the way that we set out to. And sometimes we don't meet our goals. And that derails us. And what do we do when we get derailed? We shut the fuck down, right? And it's embarrassing and it's shameful. And instead of sitting in that shame cycle, I want to encourage all of you to maybe just break through that and decide to show up anyways and be honest about your progress because other people are struggling too. Now, this is the first time that I've come out publicly and said that. And if you're watching this, you know, I hope you can forgive me. 'Cause I have to forgive myself. And if I have been a person that you've looked up to for being sober, I hope I didn't disappoint, but we often disappoint. And there's no shame in that. We have to not sit in the shame, otherwise we won't move. My mom always says, don't sit in your shitty diaper. Why don't you go change it? And and so I'm not sitting in my shitty diaper. I'm not sitting in my shitty diaper anymore. And I am moving forward with my dreams. I am almost finished with this really epic membership program that I have for people. And I have defined my niche. When you start out in business, especially in online business, in the coaching world, you're kind of grasping at what your purpose is and what your niche is because you have to niche down. And you start and you're like, oh, I'm doing this one thing. And I started, I'm doing health coaching, right? I was a health coach for shit since 2012. Um, and I did health coaching in clinic, and I still do health coaching in person. And I have clients who don't want to let me go, and I don't want to let them go. And I still do the health coaching, but I've gone into business coaching now, and I've gone into like branding, and I've been trying to kind of figure out website building and design and social media management, and I've been trying to figure out what it is that I actually do because people ask me all the time, what do you do? What do you do? And if you are an entrepreneur or a sidepreneur and you have like a side hustle, sometimes you're struggling with that, right? And for me, I have discovered that what I do is I help people build their dreams. I help people take an idea and make it into reality. One of my best examples is Dragonfly Crystal Company. I was on a float on the river with a friend that I had from TikTok, and she had brought another friend with her. And this other friend was telling me about her dreams, and she had all these cool hand carved stone crystals from Pakistan, and she wanted to have a boutique crystal shop where you could do crafting on the avenue, and you do crafting and buy high-end crystals on the avenue of her town. And she needed like a website, and she needed a structure, and she needed someone to give her that little push. So we started working together. And within 3 months' time, we built the thing. She built the thing. Like together, her, her partner, and myself, we built the thing. It was amazing. Like, it was amazing. And with the help of her amazing boyfriend, she was able to renovate this space that used to be a bakery on the downtown avenue. And she opened up and had a beautiful crystal shop. And now she has a beautiful area to do crafting. And she has this beautiful website and with beautiful branding. And we did it together. But it took that extra push and the extraction of the idea and then creating a brand and putting it together in an online space and putting all the inventory in thousands of products, thousands. And she could have never done that on her own. I mean, she could have, but she didn't have the computer skills. And so, what my husband and I have decided is Morning Moon Digital Media and Coaching is a place where we help people identify and bring to life their dreams. And especially people who are stuck in the 9 to 5, right? If you're stuck in the 9 to 5 and your dream is to like bust out and have a business, we can help you. And so that's what we have decided. That's what's come forth to us. That is what God's gift to us is, is our, is our purpose. And so in that, we got to show up a little harder. I got to show up a little harder. I have to show up and do this show. This show has been a bone of contention for me. And it's not because I don't love coming and giving everybody a good word. It's because coming on screen, it's like, oh my gosh, is my hair okay? Is my makeup okay? Oh my gosh, what am I gonna say? Am I gonna like trip over my words? And in the past, when I first started this show, I would write a script, right? And I figured like, why am I doing that? Like, why am I going on script when I have so much to say that could be um useful to other people, and I'm not reading off a script, right? And so I had to really sit with myself and decide what this show was gonna be. And in the past, I overpromised and underdelivered and say I'm gonna come and show up every day and I'm gonna give a good word every day. And sometimes it's not totally possible to get on video every day, right? And especially if you're doing it for free. Like, God. So I have come up with a cadence that works for me, and I'm going to show up a couple times a week. Going to give a good word. Going to remind you to anchor in. And it's so funny, the anchor in thing. Like if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I hammer on the foundations, the wellness foundations, and to anchor into your wellness foundations so that you can build the life of your dreams. And anchoring in doesn't come from casting an anchor into the sea, right? Like it comes from that movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock, where her carabiner breaks and she just gets lost to space because she wasn't able to anchor in and pull herself back in. And my entire message across all platforms is for people to anchor into their wellness foundations so they can build the life of their dreams, so they can live out their divine design and the purpose and the calling on their life. But it's so funny because I started saying that, and then all of a sudden I'm watching other content creators and people are saying it. And every like people that I follow that I didn't realize are following me. And, I noticed these things like, whoa. And I don't know if it's just the collective um, consciousness that's zoning in on that, or if they in fact were watching. So if you're watching and you're a big influencer and you like my stuff, say hi. Like you know, I would love to hear from you. Because I noticed when you show up that you are saying the same type of thing I am. And I don't know if that's collective consciousness or if that's just, people are watching. And so if people are watching, then I need to show up. I need to show up in all my glory, right? And no one's ever perfect. And there's so much on the internet that's curated to be perfect. And I'm not fucking perfect. I am a fuck up. I am a fuck up in the most like beautiful way. Like I'm a beautiful mess, right? Like and it doesn't make me any less of a badass. It doesn't make me any less of a good business owner. It doesn't make me any less of a good creator. It just makes me more human and more relatable. So I had to get past myself and kind of get over myself and get over this. Oh, what do I look like? Oh, I'm gaining weight. Oh, all these things. Because I've gained some weight in the last like 6 months, and it's the first time in like 12 years that 15 years that I've gained any weight. And I haven't really done anything different, but I'm realizing, oh, I'm 40. I'm gonna be 40. That's this happens. And so I'll be documenting my journey to get more in shape and get you know, get this. my hormones regulated and get back to where I was because I've always been at a really great weight and not always, but I initially lost 30 pounds. So it's kind of a when you gain weight when you were heavy, it it really kind of like fucks you up a little bit. And so um it's been kind of a shock to me that, I get on the scale and I'm like fucking 15 pounds heavier. And I'm like, what is happening? People are like, oh, you don't look that way. I can see it in my face. I can feel it in my pants. Like, what the fuck is happening? You know, I don't know. I think it's hormones. And so I am learning about these things and I'm learning what it means to be in my mid-age. And that is fucking wild to me. And my stepdaughter, her daughter is going to be 19 soon. She lives out on her own. What the fuck? Like last year when I was recording, I was going through these things live, like on the recordings of her moving out and these fights we were having. And I was really going through some stuff last year. And the last 7 years have been just so full of grief and trauma and drama that I have so many lessons to glean from. And I'm just a whole different person than I was because I've had so much to work through in my mind. And I know that there's some of you out there that are working through some things. So if you need some help, reach out because I know what it's like to lose. I know what it's like to be addicted. I know what it's like to have drama in your family. I know what it's like to be broke. Like, this is the first, last year was the first year of our adult life that we weren't broke, legit. And that was because we started our own business and we took life into our own hands. I used to work for people that would spend like money left and right on just frivolous stuff, like spend like 2,500 a month on high level coaching, but would not invest in me as an employee to do what I needed to do. I would just be expected to, create websites or do whatever um offers for like $1,000 a month. And it was just like not sustainable. So I never made over 800 a paycheck in my entire adult life. And now I'm able to make that in a sale, like more than that in a sale. And 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 it feels good because I'm helping people. And it feels good because I'm delivering something that they really need, and if they show up for themselves. I've had people who have, paid really good money and they don't show up. They stop showing up in the middle when it gets hard. And that's on them. And it's really unfortunate when you invest in something and you stop showing up for yourself because you don't really believe in yourself, or you're scared, or you don't know the way, or you have some sort of mental health issue, or you are sick or whatever, but there's always an excuse, right? And as we've said before, all excuses are lies, and that's why I'm not going to bullshit myself anymore. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. And this is me coming back, and I'm not going to stop this year. This show will continue on, even if I don't feel like it. And to offset some of this screen time, like being on camera, because there's a lot of anxiety and stuff in the morning to be on camera. I have decided to split this up into two different things. This Rise and Shine with Morning Moon is going to be a show that I come on a couple times a week and I give a good word. And then I do have a premium offer where there will be a daily anchor. It's called the Daily Anchor, and it's direct to your phone. And it's just a 20 to 40-minute good word of the day to help keep you anchored in. And I have that available. If you're interested, reach out to me. I will be promoting that in the coming days. And that way I get a little bit more out of my time and I don't have to be on camera all the time, and I can save them in a nice format there on Telegram. So if you want voice drops every single day of a daily anchor, motivation, inspiration, training, on how to become your best self and live your dreams, then reach out to me and we can get you into the daily anchor. And it's low cost. It's my lowest cost offer. So if if you have ever wanted coaching with me, this is a great starting point. And then we're dropping our group membership, which is anchored and aligned. And it's just I'm so excited about this. It's a school community and it has courses inside of it. We're going to have guest experts. We have accountability calls. We have mastermind calls, and we have um, oh my gosh, like setup call, planning for your week, and co-working calls. And so if you are someone who wants to start a business, you have a side hustle and you want to expand it, you don't know how, this is the membership for you. I'm going to be walking you through how to do DIY your business. And then, of course, we have the done for you services, which I have dropped a really special offer for a simple 3-page website. It doesn't include any coaching. It doesn't include any branding, but it's just really simple, and we've broken it down into payment plans for those of you who've asked me about websites, but my price point was a little high for you. We do now have a new offer for that because Jesse's helping me, and we have more room to expand. And now our daughter's learning how to do social media. Um, so the agency expands. And so as we grow, our offers will be a little bit more accessible for the people. Um, for those of you who are just starting out, we want to help you. And we're not just here for high ticket. We're not just here for, other coaches. We're here for the normal everyday person who wants to start a business and who has a side hustle but doesn't know, maybe you have a crafting, business where you're making freshies or something and you want to expand that online, but you don't know how. We have an offer for that. We can help you. We can help show you how to do that, and we can help show you how to leverage social media, not just Facebook. We actually have a lot of success over on TikTok and on Instagram. Um, and Facebook, we're moving a little bit away from Facebook. We do love Facebook, but Facebook isn't where that younger demographic is anymore. And so our demographics are kind of all over the board, right? But I really built this um I really built this with someone like my mom in mind, actually. My mom has been a teacher her whole most of her career since I was like 14. And she works this 9 to 5 job. She's always wanted to have a business, but she wasn't really sure what it needs to be. And now she's kind of figured it out, but she doesn't know how to do it. So I built this membership anchored and aligned with her in mind. And there's a course library that walks people through all the different platforms, everything you need to know. I'm there to ask questions. It's super cool. So I am going to be rolling these things out, and I hope that you will join me in the year 2026 to build your dreams. And if this is the only thing you join for, it's great too. I would love it if you would join us in our free group, Rise and Shine with Morning Moon. There is a daily checklist to help you anchor in your morning. And these are tasks that really help set up your day to be more fruitful. And so, if your wellness is in order and you have set a foundation which you can stand upon, then you can build. Then you can build your dream. And if chaos ensues, and it will, the storm will come, then you'll be able to stand strong, and everything won't come crumbling down. That's why we do this, because health and wellness is not separate from your business. Your business is actually just a part of your entire health and well-being because that's your purpose. And um, in our world, health and wellness is combined with your business. And if you're not well, then your business is not going to be well. So that's why we hammer in on the wellness foundations. We tell you to anchor in every day with your wellness foundations. And, there's business foundations as well that you'll learn inside of our containers. But the health and wellness is the most important thing. It is literally currency. It is what your life worth. Like it's more than gold. So we hope that you have a beautiful start to your year. Some of you have already like hit the ground running and you're already like, doing the thing. And some of you, you know, like me, I didn't really set any resolutions this year except to come in harder, come harder and ascend into my highest self. There are things I need to lose a little bit of weight. I need to do this, that, and the other thing, but I'm not coming at it from a place of um I'm just gonna do it all at once, right? Like, because that doesn't work for me. And so I've kind of like the last 2 weeks I didn't do shit. I just let myself be and I'm recharged and I'm ready to go. And I'm just gonna take things one day at a time. And I'm gonna go as hard as I can every day. But if I, have a day where I need to just veg, then I'm going to. I would love to get up earlier, but I stay up till fucking like 2, 3 in the morning. So I'm just honoring that, that part of me that is a night owl. And maybe someday I'll be a 5 a.m. person, but I don't think that in order to be successful, you have to get up at 5 a.m. I think you just have to do what you need to do. I think you just have to actually show the fuck up and do what you need to do. So show the fuck up for yourself, do what you need to do, anchor in, and if you screw up and you fall off the wagon, climb back on, get back on that bitch. But don't overextend yourself and don't shame and blame yourself if you can't make, every day perfect because you're never going to be perfect and chaos will ensue. And what are you going to do when chaos ensues, right? So with that, happy 2026, everyone, and to my 86 babies, happy 40th year on this planet. I hope that you have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you next time. Ciao.